Hello everybody, welcome back. Let's have a look at some of these charts. Well, yesterday I was saying basically we're going to have a pullback, and from that pullback we should have continuation. The pullback, up to 10% really, so if we just measure wick to wick, that was a 6, and then between yesterday was less than that. So really it was just, you can see it yourself, it's a symmetrical triangle brewing on this Bitcoin 4-hourly. I mean, you don't really need me to draw it in, but I'll do it anyway. I'll just do it anyway, just for a laugh. But yeah, so a symmetrical triangle kind of scenario. It's a breakout trade one way or another. I would make the case that it's more likely to break out than break down, just because that's where the sentiment is for continuation. It's also where the cycle is headed, so it should be breaking out. But, it is only a 4-hourly, so if it did break down, the next support is 111,500. So that's all, really. So it's not an enormous breakdown trade if it were to happen. It's still just another 6%, so take it for what it is. That's not a problem. So if we see the breakdown, that's where we're headed, and a bounce, V-shaped recovery, continuation from there. Obviously, it is the weekend, so that comes, it's a sort of, what do you want to call it? How do you want to interpret it? Mistrust, unreliability, less money, less volume, less money. As all major markets are closed, it's only those little baby crypto ones that are floating around trading 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So let's think about some altcoins and what they look like. Well, they look the same, don't they? Loads of bearish divergence led into this temporary peak, and now we're getting picked up on the 10 exponential for XRP. Looks like continuation is the name of the game. So Ethereum is slightly different because Ethereum still is dancing around the top of this giant symmetrical triangle. Here we go. There you are. So we're still pushing into the resistance and we're still quite hot, but breakout move on this based on the weekly is up to $7,000. It's not showing sort of major signs of weakness at this resistance, so maybe it is going to try and break out. The daily is at 95 on the money flow index, so that's my concern. But look, when things go parabolic, things get very exciting. Money flow indexes, all they tell you is, look, don't buy. It's just too risky, don't buy. It's at 4,000 now. Come on, don't buy. What are you doing? You're buying it now. Don't do it. That's all it's saying. It's not saying it has to come down. It's just trying to have a quiet word in your ear to say that the risk is high. So on the daily, yeah, the risk is high for a pullback. And obviously, if the risk is high for Ethereum, it'll be high for the rest of the altcoin market, probably. If you see Ethereum come down 5%, you should expect to see the rest of the market come down 5%. 4.5% to the 4-hourly Bollinger Band, 10% to the 50 exponential moving average, and heaven forbid we come down even further than that. It's plausible, it's possible, and actually probably say it's in the realms of likelihood, to be honest with you. But you go on Twitter, you go on Facebook, go anywhere right now, write in the word crypto, everybody's saying, oh, it's going up, I've just asked Aunt Betty for some money and she's given it to me, and the promise that when I become rich I will give it to her back. And oh dear, Aunt Betty won't be seeing that anytime soon. So I'm not saying that we're coming down and having a big crash. I'm just saying, we've been going up for a little while now. It's only fair for us to come down. We did come down a little bit yesterday, so be it. Maybe that is enough, but the risk is high for new entries, I can just tell you that, in the short term still. The one chart that we looked at on the Patreon, which is pretty useful actually, better than the Bitcoin dominance chart. And again, this wasn't something I was looking at off my own back. This is the beauty of having a group. A Patreon group is that we looked at this one and we're like, okay, so it's bearish, but there's lots of bullish divergence on it. Even if we come down again, there'll be another drive of bullish divergence on this. So we are looking for a bounce on this, which would usually mean a pullback in the rest of the market. But that doesn't take away from the fact that it's a bearish chart. So whatever pullbacks we get in crypto, whatever bounces we get on stablecoin dominance, it's still just part of its existing trend. I'm just trying to point out, let's just not go crazy, all right? Let's just be careful, be cautious. Let's not throw tons of money in at peak. So let's wait for dips, decent dips. Last night was an okay dip. I don't think it's the dip of all dips. I think there should be more. I think there will be more. And there needs to be more. It's just natural that there is dips that get formed and you buy those dips. So yeah, if you're looking to enter, or buy or long or whatever, do it on dips. Don't do it when Ethereum's pushing a major resistance, a multi-year resistance. Don't buy that. But, just be patient. I know it's hard to be patient sometimes. Your emotions are always taking over, but you have to be, really. Remember, it's a 24-hour market. You're not going to miss out on anything. I'm assuming most of you watch my videos anyway on a daily basis, and with that, you should have probably thought about positioning yourselves, or at least you should have had confidence from me to think, oh well, he's doing this, so fine, good for him. But I've been nestled into crypto for a little while now, and expecting this move up until September to be relatively sizable. So my entry points are done, really. There is no more spot entry points for me, but futures is where I'm at now, while I wait for these last spot trades to reach their full potential. Futures is where I'm at. Right, I'm going to leave it there. This is not a great deal more to say. Like I say, it's probably going to go up today is what it looks like. But we're still looking for a greater pullback, 10 to 20% easily in crypto markets, and then just bounce from there, continuation all the way up. But I don't control the market. I can just about interpret it to an extent. So don't hold me to it, but that is how it looks as though it's going to behave right now. Right, thank you for watching. Hope you have a nice day. Take it easy.